This is the K95.3 Sports Show podcast, brought to you by the Fan Zone in Wilmer's Candy Mall.
Welcome to the K95.3 Sports Show podcast. My name is Bo Stamfus. I am your host. As usual, if you like what you hear, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're on your cell phone, right next to the subscribe button is a little bell. If you click that, that'll give you some push notifications every Wednesday morning when the new episode pops up. I'd also like to thank the Fan Zone in the Candy Mall for sponsoring us. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Get inside the Candy Mall into the Fan Zone and buy some of their products. Also, I'd like to announce that next week's episode is going to be strictly Stinger preview, Wilmer Stinger preview. I'm actually going to have both Mark and Ryan, the owners, in this Thursday, actually, to go over their 10th season of Stinger baseball here in Wilmer. So super excited for that show. So if you're a Stinger fan, please make sure to tune in next week also. And we'll just jump right into who we got this week. We got brought back Mr. Dan Schell again. Hey, Dan.
Hey, man. Thanks, Bo. Thanks for having me back. Did you say 10th year for the Stingers?
10th.
That is awesome.
It is.
Wow.
It is. I was at the first game, bottom two best seats. My dad won 2 tickets.
Oh, of
two
course.
Best, yeah. And he gave it to me because he had other tickets. So front row, they had 2 yellow seats directly behind the plate to start the seat.
Sweet.
And so I sat there, and Basil, who is now a little over 9.5,
yes,
he was 3 months old at the very first one. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's literally grown up with the Stingers.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, so oh, hey, we got another guy here.
Oh, wait a minute.
His name's Jeremy. No, not Goulet, who we've had on many, many times. This is Jeremy Hazen, new to the area, from the Portland area, but a huge Twins fan.
Yeah.
That's right. Grew up, family from Wilmer. Grew up as a huge Twins fan, so I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming in. And we will jump right into it. We'll kind of go through these first couple a little bit quicker, but I'll switch them around. We talked last week within hours of you and Dan, you and I and Steve talking about Addison Reed. They released him.
How about that? Yeah, no kidding. We should have saved our breath.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I mean, the show is recorded on Tuesday and it's already old the next day anyways. I'm like, oh, it's really old. We're talking about a guy who's not even on the team. But so I guess, well, like Steve said, it just wasn't going to work out for him, and that's fine.
And he just never really did a lot here to impress, did he? And he had some other success on other teams. It just never seemed to flow here for him, and that's just the way that goes. So I don't know that that's a big loss. They're looking at some younger arms in the bullpen that are looking a little better, and so we got to go with who's hot right now. And so I don't know that we'll miss him, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe down the road we get thin and we wish we had that extra arm. I don't know. There's no way to know.
And I'm sure you agree, Jeremy, that's what the trade deadline is going to be for. I think if we go after anything at the trade deadline, it's going to be relief pitching. Yep, especially on the relief side. Yep. So it'll. So goodbye, Reed. We spent enough time on you, so we'll jump on to the next one. And with Miguel Sano returning, kind of surprisingly last week. Once again, we talked about it last week. I think it's like a week away or so. But with Cruz getting put on the DL and Garver put on the DL, we needed some bats.
No kidding. And with, like we talked about last week too, with that hot start, they didn't have to push him, right, Jeremy? I mean, they didn't need to push him and hurry up. When are we going to see him? When we see him, we see him. And that's what's nice about this approach, too, is they'll be able to let him sort of ease into it. If he needs a little extra time, he'll get extra time because, man, we've got a lot of bats right now.
Yeah, they've had hot bats all year. It's been a top to bottom effort for this lineup, and but he made his presence felt last night for sure.
Man, that was a bomb.
Exactly, 2 home runs already in this less than a week, including being game winners last night, Monday night, and another 3-1 victory, a low scoring 3 runs for us.
Yeah, we'll take that.
So it was needed for sure.
Yeah. 2 homers and 2 doubles in his first 5 games.
Yeah,
it's encouraging.
striking out half the time, so
Yes.
he's still Sano.
Yeah, exactly.
Boomer bust.
There's our Sano.
Yeah. So, take the good and the bad, but like you said, he doesn't have the pressure like he had on previous years. I think everybody was expecting him to be that bat,
Absolutely.
that main bat. But now, as Jeremy mentioned, we're so good top to bottom on the order that we don't need him to come in and be
Yes.
the miracle man, the savior, or anything. Just come in, figure out how to hit better, strike out less.
And you have to think between the new regime and, guys like Nelson Cruz. Do you think Sano can learn something from Nelson Cruz? My goodness, yes. So that's just huge, having that presence just in the dugout with him.
Yep. No, so it's good first week of him. Like I said, game-winning home run. We'll take that. His average, like I said, nothing special, but that's anything. I mean, that's his first week, for crying out loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
With no spring training, and just going up through the A, AA, AAA.
That's true.
So he'll come into his own. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, we don't need him to be a rock star. We just need him to be decent, solid, give us that timely home run.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Yep.
And hopefully that little bit of pressure off his shoulders gets him more comfortable, and he swings the bat a little smoother. We'll see.
Yep. No, exactly. So
That's exciting.
yeah. So over the last week, we only had one loss. So once again,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so
they are tearing it up.
6-1. I mean that. I was hoping for the straight sweep of Seattle.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was hoping for the sweep, but Gibson just didn't quite have enough of it on the weekend. So
I know. We're getting so spoiled already. We
Yeah.
take 2 out of 3. We're disappointed. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
This has been
geez.
so awesome.
Right.
Twins are 13-3 in games after a loss. That's, I think, a really important stat.
yep.
That's- Yeah, it just speaks to the way that they've been able to bounce back, and their bats are not really staying silent after those losses. They're bouncing right back and getting right back into it.
And I did see. When I'm watching the game, I'm usually taking pictures of stat stuff, or if I'm on Twitter, I catch different things. But
Sure.
I didn't see. I don't know if I have this or not, but they. I'm actually going to steal this. I forgot about this. They, as I'm switching through my screenshots, now I totally lost my train of thought, of course.
There's so many good things to
What
talk about.
What were we
You
saying?
can't
Yeah,
keep it
what were we
straight.
talking about?
13-3 in games after a loss.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the hitting coming up.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact stat, but we were one of the top teams in answering after the other team scores runs.
Okay.
In the league. So
Wow.
Once the team team we're playing against puts up a run or two, we answer back almost right away that next half inning.
That's huge.
And that's huge. That's very huge. It doesn't allow the deficit to get bigger like that. But that's
Exactly.
just another point on that. But talking about the hitting, last week again, we had, that 18 runs on Saturday, which was just crazy.
It's it's been staggering. Twins are 11. They've won 11 out of their last 15 with 99 runs scored in that stretch. That is ridiculous. Of course, 18 in one game will help that stat.
Yeah.
Right. It gave me something to pay attention to Saturday night as I'm, sitting there watching the Blazers game and watch them, blow a 15-point halftime lead. And at least I could, look over at the other screen and see the Twins doing well. Just, I look up and Buxton hits a bomb, and just a amazing night.
Yeah, it was a fun night, and here's just some crazy stats that I found out here. The Twins, they had 6 home runs that night. It was already the 5th time this season they've hit 5 or more home runs in a game.
Wow.
They are the first team in Major League Baseball history to have 5 such games before the start of June.
No kidding.
And let's just keep going with these stats here. They have, with the home runs, they are on pace to have 306 home runs.
That's a big number.
The record was set just last year by the Yankees at 267.
No kidding.
So we're on pace to beat that by almost 40 home
Wow.
runs. Now, we're not the only team. Seattle's on pace for 298. Houston's on pace for 296. And the Brewers are at 257. So, they're still in that.
Sure.
But, there's 3 teams that
That's
are going to...
impressive.
most likely beat the record, have a good chance of beating that record from last year already.
God, that is exciting. Jeremy and I were just talking about this stat before we got here. 8 different Twins players have hit at least 7 home runs already this season. 8 different players. That's almost a full day's lineup.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I think we've had years where we didn't have 8 players in double-digit home runs.
Oh, I would guess.
At the end of the season.
I
would guess.
It's just fun baseball to watch, man. When they're just blasting these deep shots, it's just I love it. It's incredible.
It's so unlike any kind of Twins baseball we're used to, right? I mean, that's
Sure.
part of it. It's just like, this is so amazing to watch because we are not used to this. All
The
these
Nick
runs.
Punto running days, small ball manufacture runs.
Oh yeah. We were the definition of small ball.
Bunting the players over every
Yes.
time.
Yep. And now it's swing hard.
Yes, exactly. And constant runs once again. Also saw they are. Let's see. This was as of May 18th. This was Saturday during that 18-run game. So this was halfway through it. This is at 10-12. So this was changed, but obviously afterwards. But they had scored their 250th run midway through that game. That was the most they've ever scored in 45 games. Also, 248 and 94, 244 and 70 and 77 through the first 45 games.
Shattering records.
So,
this is exciting.
Yeah, it's just Astros actually lead the league. They're just a few ahead of us in runs scored. But I mean, it's crazy to look at hitting stats as a team and see the Twins.
Yeah, and be talking about the Twins
In the top 3 or
absolutely.
top 20 is crazy. It's crazy enough to see.
It's incredible, and it's so fun as we've been talking about that. It's such a full team effort too. I mean, 8 different players with all these home runs. We just called up Luis Arias. Look at how good he is.
Arias,
And Jeremy, help me with the stats again. 10 at-bats, is it?
10 plate appearances, and he's reached base 7 times. I think he's got 2 walks, and I think he's 5 for 8 in official at-bats.
That sounds about right.
That's incredible. So
That
that just
nuts.
goes to show that it's more than just kind of one fluky hot player or just a couple. This is a team effort, and that's what's so exciting because that's how we sustain it as a team effort.
Yep. 5 for 8 with a double, 3 runs scored. I've looked up on him. He's not a big power guy, but it looks like you look at him. He's like, why doesn't he have power? I mean, he's a stocky.
Yes.
He's a stocky player.
Yeah, he's got good size.
And they were talking on the Twins broadcast about him that he has. They kind of compared him to Ichiro, as in Ichiro is one of the best hitters of all time.
Sure,
so
sure.
not that, but in the fact that Ichiro had the power.
He had the ability.
He had the ability to the power, but he would rather hit for average.
Sure.
Oh.
And that's what they said he's like. He would rather hit that single, that double,
Get that ball in play.
than sit there and maybe bat 30, 40 points less, but hit twice as many home runs.
Sure.
So
I like that.
Yeah,
And that's a nice counterbalance too when we've got some heavy swingers. Obviously,
Exactly. Get him on base.
Well,
home
and the
runners
nice
strike
thing
out.
about that is too, when you do need that power, it's available, and maybe he does walk up to the plate and late in the game when we're down 1, and he does power one over the
Unleashes,
fence.
Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah. So that was some cool stuff in him. But like you said, doesn't matter who we plug in.
Honestly, it is such a cool team effort. One more cool stat I wanted to throw out about Jorge Polanco. He has 4 hit games of the season, and he's the first Twins player to do that in the first 50 games since Rod Carew in 1977. So again, we're just
Rod Carew.
Yeah, only that guy. So it just goes to show the amount of stats we're putting up is staggering. Awesome.
Yeah. It's been a blast to watch. It's been fun to watch. So the hitting has been consistent. Pitching took a little bit of a step, starting pitching a little bit last week with about 3 bad starts or so with our starting pitchers. Unfortunately, 2 of them were from our ace, Rios, which was surprisingly the most. We got, he's last week, he has a 7.71 ERA over his last 2 starts.
Ouch.
And so he is not. He needs to, actually, no, it's a little higher, actually, because he had 7.71 on Saturday and then 7.94 that previous Monday. So, so he's a little bit higher than that. But just, so 2 off pitching.
Sure.
Fantasy baseball, we know how that works. even the best guys, I have Sale on my team. And
Oh,
I mean, if I
absolutely.
did not look, if I looked at his stats and not his name, he would have been dropped within the first 2 weeks of the
That's
season.
just it. Look at how DeGrom started. Look
Yep.
at how, I mean, there's so
Garrett
many.
Cole, who I have too, another guy who
Yes,
started off
yeah.
slow. But it's just that's the way pitchers go. Luckily, he'll turn it around. He goes tonight. No, Thursday.
I think Thursday.
Yeah, I'll say he
That
just went
sounds right.
Saturday.
Yeah, so Thursday.
Barrios.
Thursday.
No, Friday. We're off on Thursday. So Friday he opens the weekend series against Chicago.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yes, but Odorizzi bounced back after his little weaker start last week,
Sure.
and had a great 5 innings last night.
Yeah, he did.
So-
they asked him about that, and he said it's kind of a pitcher's thing that it's hard to start back-to-back starts against the same team. We saw the Angels and then
Oh, I
saw him
suppose.
again, but boy, looked great last night.
Yeah, it definitely. You would assume it would benefit the batters,
Yes,
but not last night. It
no,
definitely.
he looked really good.
And when we go to the game this Sunday, it's Odorizzi.
Oh yeah, good.
Odorizzi is going to be pitching Sunday's game, so that'll be. Hopefully, he has another good game.
Yeah, let's hope.
It's against the White Sox, please. We better. not the play to our competition BS that we do all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
That's
Like I said, overall pitching good. A couple mess starts there. Not the end of the May. Trevor May had a little rough couple innings,
and
but
we were sort of waiting for that, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
pitching kind of had to come back down to earth.
Of
and
course. And the good news is the bats have been pitching up. So even when they do stumble, Barrios, gives up 4 runs. Big deal. The offense put up 18.
That is true.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's true.
I did because he only pitched 4 2/3. I didn't
get
get
the
the
win.
W because he didn't finish that last batter. So I cared. Enough about my fantasy woes, which I won again last week. Anyways,
Sick of this guy.
yeah, half a game behind Dan now. And we'll we kind of already talked about one of these here, but I wanted to bring up one thing when I was scooting through my screenshots. A friend of mine who I will have on the show here eventually, Steve Kling. We talked about
yeah.
him last night. He's friends with Steve, who was on last week. He posted that he found this is for people who were Brian Dozier fans,
Oh, yeah, sure.
who are like, oh man, I'm so mad we got rid of him. I love Brian Dozier. Yeah, great guy.
Oh, yeah,
There you go.
easy to like.
We traded Brian Dozier to the Dodgers for prospects Luke Raley and Devin Smeltzer.
Okay.
Raley in AAA in 30 games is batting .304.
Nice.
Smeltzer in AA to AAA pitcher .40 ERA.
What? How's that even
42
real?
strikeouts in 45 innings, 4 walks.
That's
Oh my
exciting.
goodness.
Jonathan Scope, who we picked up to take Dozier's place, obviously hitting, 281. I don't know what it is currently. This was a couple days ago. Batting the upper 200s, multiple home runs. One of the guys with over 7
Yes.
or whatever.
Yep.
So that's basically what we had. Brian Dozier, since he left the Twins in 87 games, batting 184.
He's really struggled. Yeah, he's really struggled.
So
It's hard
It's
to, it's such a battle for fans because we have this attachment to players, right?
Yep.
And Dozier, and then what you put Kadire, Morneau. These players that the fans absolutely love. Yet management has a job to do, and they need to look at numbers and who's producing and who's not. And so it's a tough decision, and they know that the fans aren't going to love this, but it's a business, and we had to do what we had to do. I complained when we got rid of Dozier. I just like him a lot, but
Yep.
numbers are numbers, right?
yeah, and the numbers show we easily winning the hell out of that
like
trade.
that.
Jeez.
Especially since the Dodgers didn't even hold on to him
Yeah,
and he left. So
Yep.
they gave up 2 of their prospects who are in our AAA kicking ass.
yeah, that's great. And I think he's on the Nationals this year.
Yeah,
Dozier, right?
that sounds
Yeah.
right.
Great. Works for me.
Yes. Good.
We'll
yeah.
take it, but-
some more up and coming talent.
But
Very good.
I definitely wanted to mention that because that blew my mind.
That is interesting.
When I saw him post that, I was like, I'm stealing the hell out of that, I said. So
Well,
if you,
especially when we started with a season like this too, it's easy to Dozier who and so and so who,
Yeah, yeah,
whoever. This is great.
but speaking of Scope being an addition, What would you guys think was, if you had to pick one person, who do you think of our off-season additions is our MVP off-season additions?
You go first, Jeremy.
For me, that's pretty easy, and I'm going with CJ Crone. You expected the numbers to be there offensively, but the defense that guy's been playing has just been fantastic. And for me, just as far as a balanced effort, looking at some of the home runs that he's hit and the timely home runs that he's hit, for me, that's going to be my MVP as far as the off-season additions go.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to put a little twist on it. How about Rocco Baldelli?
Ooh.
I mean, really, this is a whole new attitude in the dugout. Whole new, and we've talked about this in former podcasts too, just his mindset and the way he works his guys and the way he has his team work out. And it's just incredible. It's a completely different thought process now in that Twins bullpen or in the dugout and the bullpen. And it's obviously working so far. Obviously, we've got great talent, but what management is doing as well is really working out. I think we have to throw that in there. I know we're kind of talking players and Scope and Marwin Gonzalez.
He has a new addition.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz, so much fun. But boy, that new Twins management is awesome.
Well, and doesn't it just seem like the guys are out there having fun? I mean, obviously you have more fun when you're winning, but it just seems to be a totally different mindset in the whole, the whole organization right now. Just it's a little bit more loose. It's relaxed. They're just out there having fun. And
they're, as we talked about, they're letting these losses roll off their shoulders and going out and getting another win the next night. They're not harping on it. They're not dwelling on it. We haven't seen these losing 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6 hasn't happened yet, and that is a lot of attitude.
Yep.
Love it.
Well, I like both of them, and actually, I was going to go with someone different, but I think you talked me into Crone a little bit, Jeremy, because I was going to go with Scope because he's been picking it up. He's several more doubles, but I think like what you said, the play at first, I think is what inches him over because he's batting 273, Crone's batting 263. Crone's got 12 home runs, Scope's got 8. 12 doubles to 6 doubles. The rest of the stats are all pretty much
close.
even. So it's like, what's that one extra one? And there's no shot on Scope in his fielding.
No, his defense has been great as well.
Yeah,
but first base is where it's at because you
big.
have to scoop those balls. You have to catch those balls, and that's what Crone's been doing. And a lot of people, the fans, just hated this move in the offseason too. Yeah. Because they compared him to what's his name that we got last year from Tampa Bay.
Vargas?
No.
Oh.
Well, was a big home run hitter. God, who was he? Shoot. He was so bad.
My mind's blanking right now.
Yeah, he was so bad. Why don't you get on Googling that? There you go, Jeremy. But a lot of people complain because he was another power hitting first baseman from Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And everybody's like, "Oh, is this so-and-so 2.0?"
Here we go again.
And obviously he has not, because I don't think what the guy's name was. He was, I don't think he even had this many home runs. He didn't even bat over 200. I don't think.
It was a bad fit.
Yeah.
It was a bad fit. And that's another interesting point is with all the new faces, how everybody seems so comfortable and at home. That's pretty cool. It's not just one of these new additions taken off. It's all of them. And so whether you're looking at Nelson Cruz for his leadership aspect and his bat, of course, or Crone, Scope, wow, this is exciting. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, no, it's very fun. Geez, seriously, I can't find him either. It's bugging the hell out of me.
All right, you two. Do I got
Logan Morrison.
Oh, Logan Morrison.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Morrison.
Yes, good call.
Yep. Everybody was like, "Oh, geez, 2.0 that version."
Same thing.
Yeah. Power hitting.
Yeah, big swinger.
Had a great season the year before. Tampa Bay let him go. Well, why did they let him go?
Yeah.
But it's been Crone's definitely. You definitely talked me out of saying Scope there. I like that.
Glad I could contribute.
Yes. It's about time. Just kidding.
I was kind of thinking Crone too, and we talked about this beforehand, so we didn't have the same player. And I'm like, oh, Crone. And I thought, I'll do a little twist and do Rocco.
And I even thought about doing that too.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, maybe I'll say Rocco too. So,
That's fun.
we're both on the same wavelength. But like I said, it's a good thing that we had a hard time really kind of picking somebody.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah,
I mean,
when you've got
you could hit
4 or 5 names that you could easily
Cruz.
throw out there.
You talk Nelson Cruz, just the veteran leadership that he's brought. He seems like he's had a big effect on this team. And I'll be honest, as a guy in the Northwest, watching him in Seattle and hearing everybody talk about him up in Seattle, I was not a fan. I was not a fan of the move when we brought him in. And
I've always loved Cruz.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Cruz, but yeah.
And he always hit well against the Twins. Maybe that's why we're happy he's on our team.
Maybe.
Exactly. So, it's let's take a quick look here in the upcoming weeks here, because like I said, we will not talk Twins baseball next week because we'll have the Stingers show on for their preview of their season. So, I mean, we've got...
That's fun. We talk about beat the teams you should beat. White Sox, we're looking at you, right?
Yes, I want...
Got that
definitely has to be a
series.
sweep.
Yeah.
Milwaukee at home might be a little tough.
Mm-hmm. It's a good squad.
Good squad. And then we follow up with Tampa. That's going to be the meat. And we kind of talked about it a little bit last week. The May 27th through June 6th, we've got Milwaukee twice, Tampa Bay 4 times, Cleveland 3 times.
That's
so big. Tampa Bay's coming back to the pack. I didn't see. I just looked up the standings. I didn't see that they dropped actually below the Yankees now. They're 5-5 over the last 10, and the Yankees are now a game ahead of them.
Oh wow!
In the division, but Tampa was running away with that division at first.
They were playing really well.
But you go 5-5 over 10 games.
Yeah, well, the Yankees will catch you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's at Tampa. So we'll see what happens. But that's a meaty schedule. We'll be talking again Tuesday, June 4th. So that'll be the start of the Cleveland. So we'll see what happens with the Tampa Bay, Milwaukee. But that's 4, 5, 6 out of those 6 games. I mean, I'd take 3-3 worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I don't want us to lose.
And being on the road. Are we in Milwaukee or they come here?
The 2 at Milwaukee, the 2 against Milwaukee are here.
Okay.
Memorial Day and the day after Tuesday.
Fun.
But 4 in Tampa.
All right.
So
well, let's see. Beat the teams we should beat, and we'll see. Like you say, Tampa's coming back down to size, and we're still on the upswing. So
yeah, I mean, if you can get splits in those 2 series, and then, like you said, sweep Chicago, I'm happy with that. 6-3.
Finish the Angels off tonight and tomorrow, or Tuesday and Wednesday.
Let's hope.
We can,
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I know. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch the games. Like I said, I've been watching pretty much every night. I watch them now.
Absolutely. You can't not, or at least listen in.
I don't know if the wife is too happy about it, but I have it muted and off to the side. Like I said, I'm not playing it on the main TV.
Off to the side. That's
but she's all like, "Pay attention."
Yeah, it's hard to miss them, but you don't want to miss them, whether it's TV or on 1590 AM KDJS.
Yes, or 105.7 FM.
Ooh, many homes for the Minnesota Twins.
Yes. So, I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, good
Thank
chat.
you, Jeremy, for your first time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me in.
Yes, love to have you in again. This is a fun show, and we will.
We'll have plenty to talk about in a couple weeks.
Exactly. We'll have 2 weeks worth of talk here, so we'll continue cheering on the Twins. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share for your friends, and make sure if you're a Stingers fan to tune in next week for the 10th season preview of your Wilmer Stingers. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week.